live streaming here. It's Friday, about 2 o'clock. I made it to Walmart. It's super rainy out here, but I made it on time. I'm backed up to the dock already. Had to walk my bills into the receiving office. So now it's just sit and wait, which comes with every time you get live loaded or unloaded, which I'm getting unloaded. But you just have to sit and wait. They're gonna call me when they're done, go pick up my bills, do my departure macro to let my dispatcher know that I'm all done with this load and they can start planning my next load. So I was just checking in with you guys. Hope everyone's having a great Friday. Not sure if I'm in that truck behind me way, but hopefully everybody's having a great day. And I will check in with you guys later, let you know where I'm headed next. Okay, bye. Good morning, people. It is Saturday morning, about 6:30 a.m. I am in Clinton, North Carolina, and I am sick, which is why I sound like this. The last few days I've been stuck in rain, like coupling and uncoupling and walking to shippers, and you can't always use an umbrella out here. So it is what it is. It feels like it's just my neck up, like my body doesn't feel sick. But it's another rainy day here. It's not raining right this moment, but it just finished raining pretty hard maybe 10 minutes ago. But I just wanted to say good morning before I started my day. Yesterday, I can't remember if I made a video at the Walmart distribution center when I dropped my load, but I did make it there on time. When I went to pick up my bills, the lady at the receiving office told me that my load was 41 cases short. 40 cases of mushrooms, and like I had all frozen vegetables on my truck, so it was 40 cases of frozen mushrooms and 1 case of mustard greens, frozen mustard greens. That was my first time ever having a load. I've heard and talked to people who have been short or over or like damaged, but I've never had to deal with like filing a claim myself. That was my first time that happened to me. So what I had to do was contact the claims department. If you're with Prime, in the Prime app under my contacts, there's a list of numbers. You go under other, and like the claims department line is the first option. Before I realized that, I asked somebody else and they gave me the number, but when I was later looking, I seen that it was there. So just heads up that that's where you can find the claim number or claim department number. But let me walk back here. People are driving by like, what is she talking to her phone for? But what am I trying to say? Oh, so basically all they needed to know was, you know, why it was short or damaged. Like, that's the same number you call if you have damaged product where the customer refuses to take a certain pallet because it tumped over or for whatever reason. So it's all the same claim department number. So I explained the situation. For me, when I picked it up in Tennessee, Brownsville, Tennessee, for me it was just a drop and hook. I picked up a trailer, and I think that was in the last video I made. I picked up my trailer. It was already pre-sealed. I put pre-sealed on my macro. I'll actually come back and show you guys that later for anybody who is at Prime. But my dispatcher had already knew that it was a drop and hook, so it was sealed already, so there was no way I could see what was in it to know if what was in it matched the packing list. Not that I would be able to climb around in the truck anyways, because it all is just like shrink wrap pallets on our end. Like, you don't look at each pallet to see what's in there. But I just had to let them know the item numbers, like the SKU numbers of what was short, how much they were short, and I guess they filed a claim on their, like, Prime's end, their corporate end, to the shipper, letting them know that, hey, Walmart is saying that these boxes were short. But so it was a pretty straightforward, I mean, it took me maybe 10 minutes or so to walk back in, find out what items were short, call the claims department, But for the most part, it wasn't like I was expecting a lot more hoopla than it was. I don't know if when you're damaged, it might be like some additional steps to like, I don't know how that works, and hopefully I don't have to deal with that anytime soon. But yeah. So other than that, okay, so after that I left my receiver, I left Walmart. I went somewhere, I swept out the back of the trailer and I got a load to where I'm at now at the Smithfield plant in Clinton, North Carolina. And I am headed to Illinois. I have to be there by Monday between midnight or 12:01 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. So I have all day Monday to get there, but I'm going to try to get there Monday morning. Because I have all day and all today and all day tomorrow to drive, and it's like just short of 1,000 miles. But when I got here to Smithfield, it's so dark. It was nighttime. And oh my gosh, I got myself lost. Not really lost. Like I was here at the plant on, I don't know if that's like the east side, north side of the plant, whatever. I was along, like I followed Qualcomm, and I was going along the railroad tracks, and that's not the right way you go. So I almost turned into a situation that would have, seeing how dark it was and rainy, would have been get outable, but not pleasantly get outable. And I actually did turn into like the start of a parking lot like they had where you turn into, I guess what might have been their old shipping and receiving. Like there was a guard shack, but there was a fence with some cones, and then it was like a parking lot. Like, so you weren't in the parking lot, you were on the outside of the parking lot, but there was a little bit of the parking lot before the fence cut you off. I did turn into that because at that point I knew I was going the wrong way. Like my spidey senses was just like this. Even though the plant, it was the parking lot to the plant. Like I seen the plant right there. But I was like, something just doesn't feel right about this. I didn't see any other trucks. Like it just, you get kind of, the longer you're out here, and I'm sure I'm just have baby senses at this point. They're gonna get improved more and more, but something just didn't feel right about it. So I turned into this driveway and had to kind of back myself out. And then I sat, like once I backed myself out, there's like a little strip in the middle of the street. So I sat in the middle and I was kind of like trying to figure it out, looking at the satellite view and trying to figure out where do I go. Because I seen on the satellite view, I seen a parking lot with a lot of cars, which you normally see at plants like this or distribution centers where the employees park. But that's not always, and usually not the route, or for me in my case, I mean, I'm still a rookie out here, so usually to a 40-year-old veteran, don't hold it against me, vets, but usually it's not the employee parking lot part that you go through. So I was just like looking at the satellite and I was like, because you know, you don't really want to make any wrong turns because sometimes your truck is so long that you don't always have the space to just U-turn and turn back out. I mean, like how when I pulled into that little part of the parking lot last night, you have to actually back yourself out. And especially if it's like a busy street or something, you know, kind of think twice before you just start willy-nilly pulling into parking lots. Because if it's a busy street, to get yourself back out, and especially if you're just by yourself, you don't have a teammate or a trainer with you to like stand behind the truck in the street and kind of stop traffic in a yellow vest, you know, to like give you the leadway to get out. And cars really they don't care. For the most part. I mean, you'll find every now and then somebody who might be a trucker or knows a trucker, so they're compassionate to like, okay, I know my dad used to have to do this. Or you'll find somebody that just genuinely is a patient person and will, you know, stop and let you come out. But for the most part, cars try to pass you by, and when you're backing, unless it's a straight back, which is very rare if you're trying to get yourself out of something, it's probably not going to be a straight back. You have a blind side because of the way your trailer turns in one of your mirrors. It can be your driver or your passenger mirror. Your trailer is turned one way and your tractor's turned another way. So when you look in the mirror, all you see is the back of your of your trailer. You can't see the street, you can't see cars, you can't see if a car is going to be patient and wait, if they're trying to get behind you while you're backing up. You just don't know. So it's a doable situation to get yourself out of, but it takes a while. Like, you have to be very slow, very patient, and that's even harder when it's nighttime, it's raining, it's maybe a dark street or just a dark city. Like some places that are small, like this Clinton, North Carolina, it seems really small. Like the street lights aren't like a big city street light. It was raining, it was dark, so I sat there for a minute, kind of just looking at the satellite, trying to figure out what's the most common sense option for me to do. And for me, it was to go into the employee parking lot. And the only thing that saved me was the satellite view. I kind of seen the fuel station. Like when I was looking down in the fuel station, because look, if you can see right here, that right there is the fuel station here at the plant. And I was able to see that on the satellite view. And it literally looked like it was right in front of the employee parking lot, which it is. Like, it's right behind me, on the sides of me is the employee parking lot. So that made me kind of feel like that's probably, the employee entrance is probably the same as the truck driving entrance. And it was right, but you know, like, if I would have just rushed and kind of been panicking, like, oh my gosh, because it's easy when you, like, when I turned into that little parking lot part with the fence, where I couldn't actually go into their parking lot, but you know, it was like the beginning of the parking lot before the fence. When I turned into that and had to back myself out, it's easy to like get yourself in this panic mode where you're like, oh my gosh, or at least let me speak for me. It's easy for me to get into a panic mode where I'm like, oh my gosh, I just turned in, I'm like looking, I'm trying to back myself out, I don't know if cars are coming. Once you get backed out, you can't like start panicking. You can't be like, just, I'm going to go and just like start taking off and not really sure where you're going, because you already got yourself lost once. Luckily, I got out of that. But, so that's why, like, sometimes just a lot of streets have like that strip in the middle for people to like get into the middle lane to turn left or right or whatever. So a lot of times you want to, stop there or pull to the side of the road or something and kind of pre-think what you're going to do next. Like, don't let that panic that you initially felt trying to get out of a situation kind of set in, where you start making even worse decisions and they continue on, because it can get bad and worse and worse. But anyways, I got myself here, checked in, dropped my trailer. It's kind of tight. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, or like, I don't know if your perspective when I show you stuff is the same as like when you're sitting in this long, well, I'm not attached to a trailer now, but when you're in this long vehicle, like that space between the trailers facing one way and the trailers facing that way, that's not a lot of space. So they were just like, find an empty spot and put it in. So I found an empty spot and put it in, but it was not the easiest. And I went and got my paperwork, got my bills. They told me what trailer to pick up. I must have spent an hour. First, like, because they have empties going that way, over here where I showed you in front of me. And I must have spent an hour, and there was me and another guy that I could tell he was walking around looking for empties. I like drove by all the trucks with my flashlight and shined them on the numbers to see, couldn't find my trailer. Then I was like, well, maybe I'm just driving by it. And it was raining. But I was like, you know, I got to get out and try to walk, you know, around all these trailers, because they're telling me my trailer's loaded here somewhere. Where is it? And they say, well, we don't keep track. Like, this is the general area that we drop empties. Because I did go back at one point to the guard shack, which is right out here and by the employee parking lot. And I asked them, like, do you have any way to know where a specific empty is dropped? But this is after I, like, walked the parking lot maybe twice. And I seen another guy walking. And we were both just, like, hands up in the air. Like, I could not, like, there's only, out of all these trucks, most of them are CR England. And like, there's some on this side, and like right there, I don't know what I'm pointing at, But there's like maybe 5 Prime trucks. None of them were my trailer number. Like, I found every Prime truck. None of them were my trailer number. So the guard check was like, well, there's a guard out kind of going around the yard right now writing a list of trailers and stuff. So he said, I can't tell you right this moment, but if you come back in about 20 minutes, she should be back. But she's out there rolling around in a little golf cart trying to map out the yard. I guess they do that every night or something. And by this time, it was maybe 11 p.m. I was out of hours, but luckily I was off duty driving around. So I just was like, well, do you guys let people stay here for the 10-hour break? Because, I mean, once I got a trailer, I couldn't go far. I mean, I could have went to the next safest place if they wouldn't allow me to stay. Like, try to find a rest area or the closest truck stop that I could park at safely. But I don't want to go over my hours if I don't have to. So the guard was like, yeah, you can stay here. So I'm kind of just bobtailed. I don't know if you can see, like, I'm in front of a fence right outside the employee entrance, but in their property. But I'm just sitting here bobtailed, and I just let them know, well, since she's going to be about 20 minutes, like, by this time I was tired. My sickness was starting to kick in. And I was just, because I had been up since like 6 yesterday morning. I woke up to like start heading to Walmart, or getting ready to head to Walmart. But so it was a long day, and I was just like, I'm gonna stay here since you're okay with it. I'll let my 10-hour break go by, and then by the time I wake up in the morning, the sun will be out, and I'll be able to easily see my trailer, but I'll come back and check in with you. So I just went and checked in with him, and my trailer had not even, excuse me guys, I have so much phlegm in my throat. My trailer that I had spent all that time looking for hadn't even been brought out to the like loaded part yet, or like they have mixed loaded and empties out here. What I showed you guys, it hadn't even been brought from the dock out here yet. So like I was basically looking for a trailer that was not here. But it's like over on the far side or something. So I'm gonna go head over there and get that. But hopefully everybody has a beautiful day. I think I'm gonna get a blower. The Walmart that's close to here, it's like 2 miles from here, has a cordless Black & Decker blower in stock. And I think I'm going to go get that to make my life easier. Yes, I'm tired of sweeping the trailer. And really, I'm not really tired of like the manual labor part of it. That's fine. What's hard is that it's so hot and muggy. Like, so when you're in the trailer, it's just hot. I mean, if you can sweep it out when you're like right after you turn the trailer off where it's still cool, but you don't always have a place to pull over to do that. So like, you have to find somewhere that you can pull over and sweep the trailer out. So it doesn't always work out where it's still cool in the trailer when you actually start to sweep it out. And it's just like so hot and muggy and like, oh my gosh. Like if it wasn't for the temperature, the sweeping part isn't so bad. It's the hotness while you're sweeping. So I'm going to try to get me a blower, and I'm so cheap, but it's $70. $70 to me is going to be well worth it. So that's my goal today. And then I'm going to get on the road and try to get like 400 or 500 miles towards my destination. I'll try to check in with you guys along the way. And this video is kind of long, so I'll probably post this as its own video. And as I'm en route, I'll be checking in with you guys, making my short little clips. I'm glad you guys seem to be liking, the people that comment seem to be liking my shorter clips. So I'm going to definitely keep that up. Sorry that this one was so long of me just sitting here. But everybody have a great day. Have a good weekend. And I will talk to you guys soon. And guys, I am drinking my Super Greens. The best time to do this is when you're feeling sick, because all of these superfoods can help boost your immune system. So even if you only keep it on your truck and drink it just when you're not feeling good or you're feeling low energy, that's fine. But definitely take care of yourself when you're sick, when your immune system is low. And you can't always do that by like popping NyQuils and DayQuils and stuff. You have to do that in a productive way where you're actually feeding your body nourishment. Talk to you later. Hey guys, I came back on here really quick just to let anybody know who's with Prime if you pick up a preloaded or pre-sealed trailer, this is how I do mine. I put my bill of lading, my in or out seal number, and then in the inspection area I put preloaded and pre-sealed, just so you're not responsible for, like, they know that you can't count the items, you can't see the items in the back of the trailer. Just kind of cover yourself and do that. That's my recommendation, and I just wanted to share with you guys. All right, have a great day, guys.